What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Reign of Kings. And so this series is probably going to be tapering off to sort of like a final rest, in all honesty. So the server got reset, the game has been patched, lots of things have happened over the last day or two, the server has been down for a while. And in the last patch, actually the thing that's sort of like steering me away from playing the game anymore is in the last patch they actually doubled the amount of resources required, almost doubled anyways. They increased them by essentially like 40%. So instead of taking like 25 blocks like it used to take 25 stone, 25 wood in order to get one block. And at this point right now of the corresponding type, so 25 wood to get one wood block, 25 stone to get one stone block. In the last patch they nerfed it for some reason so that now it's almost 40 of each material to get one block. And honestly, it's made the building a little bit cumbersome. It's actually a little bit too much for me right now, and it's just really grindy. And so I spent about 4 hours last night just like grinding stuff out. And so this is what we have right now. I didn't want to come back into the series. I know we've started off naked on the beach a couple times now, and I didn't really want to do that again. And so I spent time on the server last night just kind of like grinding this stuff out and making sure that we have it along the way. I used it to make myself some basic mace type stuff. I've got a weapon. There's somebody running up on me right now because I've got valuables in here. Who is this guy? Who is this dude? His club. Oh no, he's got a deer's leg. He's got a deer's leg. Apparently that was the first thing he did. He logged into the server, beat up a deer, took its leg. Alright, well, as long as he's not after my stuff. I've got a whole bunch of stuff smelting over here. It was seriously, I just turned on documentaries. That's how I farm in this game. I turn on documentaries and then I just like sit around. I'm going to pick up all my stuff real fast and we're going to find a place where we can get started. I think that with all these crafting benches, these should be mostly empty, and so there it is right there. I don't know exactly where I want to start our base off, and I haven't come up with a rule set for the server. Essentially, I'm just going to leave the don't be a dick rule, although I am going to ease back. Like, PvP is going to be allowed. Last time we were being a little bit careful about it because there was a lot of YouTubers around. For right now, I think the server is just going to be like any other server. Just don't be a total asshole would be the way that I would put it. Like, you can raid people, you can attack people, that's fine, but don't like level their shit to the ground and then dance on their corpse while killing their sleeper and, you know, calling their mom and telling them what you've done, all that fun stuff. I would say just leave it alone for right now. I don't know where I want to build my base. I have no idea. I don't want to build too far away from everything because every time I do that I find myself spending a lot of time in transit, and living in the Bay Area I would prefer to avoid that. I already spent enough time in transit. The 80 is such a nasty freeway like all the time, and so having grown up around it I prefer to not be stuck in traffic at all. Let's eat some berries real fast. I don't know where I want to start off our base for this leg of our journey. I don't know how much longer the series is going to go, in all honesty, just because the amount of time it takes now to farm out like simple stuff has reached such a point where it's just like bleh. And so I'm hoping they decide to go back on that decision. My advice was actually that they should lower the costs, just because bases are so easily destroyed right now that it makes the whole thing a little bit like, I can destroy your base with 1 or 2 treb rocks. And so having doubled the amount of stuff it takes right now to actually complete a base or get a base started, I mean, it essentially takes the exact amount of time to destroy stuff, but twice the time to farm it now. And so they've put it in a weird situation where there's almost no point like building a base. You might as well just be transient and run around with your stuff and then just like, I suppose, brick yourself into a wall later on. Like, so for example, just take some stone blocks and block yourself in every single time that you go to sleep at night. It's kind of a weird situation to be in, and I don't think that I support it very much. I would highly recommend, what they've said about the situation is that they've done it to promote people like getting back together and like hanging out more and actually being more communal, but I don't think it's going to have that effect. Unfortunately, the mindset of the survival world, or at least the survival gaming world, is that like, you have stuff, I have stuff, whichever of us kills each other first gets the stuff. And I don't think there's any way that a developer can sort of like demand to change that mindset. It's just the way that things go. I think people have been trained by DayZ and H1Z1 and all games like that, you know, everything is combat. And unfortunately, I don't think that artificial barriers like doubling the amount of materials is really going to help. You're still going to have players that work together, but by and large, most people are fairly paranoid about working together with people they don't even know. So for example, you bring friends into the server, sure, I'd work with them, but I mean, just with like random people it becomes awkward. You never know. It looks like they added more stone nodes from what... No, they haven't added more stone nodes. To answer that question on screen right now, they have not. I was running around last night and they were all pretty much in the exact same spots as they always were. I don't know if I want this clay down here. I kind of want this clay because we could use it to make like the badass stone blocks. So I figure I should probably grab some of this over here. Let's see. Yeah, people are reading. I made a post up on the Facebook right now. They might nerf it before this video goes live. I don't know. I know there's been a lot of people bitching and moaning about it on the forum, so we'll see if they respond. Honestly, I think they should just make the bases as cheap as possible if they're going to leave the HP values where they are, because as of right now, it's way too easy to destroy somebody's base with just about... I mean, they took out kegs because those were annihilating people's bases like instantly. And then trebs, I mean, once you get them beaded in, it's not that hard to destroy stuff. I think a wood block takes like 2 hits, and a stone block takes 3, assuming that you know, and if you load multiple stones at the same time and you've already got it beaded in, it's all linear. So if it takes 6 on the counterweight with 1 stone, you do 18 on the counterweight with 3 stones, knock the wall down just as fast. I don't know, a little bit disenfranchised right now. It's been about a week and a half since my last little recording session, and I'm not pleased with the changes. I'm just not pleased with the changes, and it's the sort of thing that for me, honestly, since I record like strapped for time about half the time, because, you know, I got lots of series running and lots of things that get done. Unfortunately, farming out materials every single night for 3 or 4 hours is just like one of those little things I simply don't have time for. Like, I didn't even actually notice until last night. Like, I farmed out about 5,000 of each material last night, and I sat down, I did the math. I was like, all right, that's about 200, 220 blocks of each type. That should be enough to get me started on my next block of like 5 or 6 episodes. And then I sat down and I noticed that it actually took more. I was like, why did I only get like 100 blocks out of this? And then I checked the recipe, and it actually cost way more, and I was a little bit disappointed. And by a little bit disappointed, it means I sat there scratching my head and going, why? And screaming at the skies. So unfortunately, I'm not the kind of person, I don't want to like complain too much about the changes, because obviously it's alpha and they're going to be fiddling with things and moving things around. But at the same time, it does sort of impede the series and make the whole thing kind of a pain in the ass. So I don't know. I've been looking around for replacement series and like alternate series and things like that. I haven't played The Forest in a while, so I may give that a go for a couple days. I haven't played Stranded Deep for a while. I haven't played, you know, this is not a promise, by the way, so I don't want people to get mad if I don't play any of these games, because that's a distinct likelihood as well. However, I've been looking at a lot of games right now to maybe swap on over to instead of Reign of Kings for right now, because I don't like the changes, and until they get swapped back, I'm not really interested in crafting everything at a double cost, a double premium, as it were. And then I'm the kind of person who likes creative control over my base. Like, I don't like sharing things, and so since I don't play well with others, I tend to just like be by myself. And since they made the game nastier for solo players, it's like, well then, never mind. Let's grab a little bit of wood right now. I don't actually think that I need it, but I'm going to grab it anyways. We might as well. I mean, if the wood's there and it's right in front of you, you can grab it. There's your obligatory wood joke for the series. If we hoof it on up, I need more food. Like, food has been my big problem this time around. They actually nerfed the speed at which you regenerate. I don't know. There's a couple of bugs right now with the hunger, too. I've noticed that sometimes when I eat food, I lose my food meter. It happened to me last night where I ate a bunch of berries, and I actually ended up losing more hunger than I gained. Like, it actually did this big chunk thing where it fell backwards, and I lost a bunch of hunger. It was actually a little bit wild. I think it's a bug or something, because I know they did fiddle with the hunger meters and the thirst meters to make them go down faster. I don't know if they're going to be considerably faster, but it does seem like I spend a lot more time running around trying to get, oh yeah, we got to go beat up some sheep. We got to go beat up some sheep. That's the other thing, is that like a lot of the stuff that I did earlier, it got reset for some reason. I don't know. I logged in today and I was missing a lot of the stuff that I farmed out last night, and my animal product was one of the things. And so I'm missing all my animal product right now. Like I did have, oh, we don't have the crafting space though. Okay, well, let's start with the base first. We'll start with the base first. I'm going to find a couple, like, little berry bushes down up in here, and hopefully that'll get us taken care of. I may build, like, a mountain hovel over here. Let's try and find, like, the side of a mountain. And if we can build it at the side of a mountain, I think that'll actually save us a bunch of materials in the long run, and that may actually make it a little bit more cost-effective if we can outsource the back of our tower to, like, the side of a mountain. That would be something that I'd be interested in doing. I did it before with another base. The only problem with that is that it sets the floor to like a strange offset, and once the floor has like an odd tilt, you've actually got to go over it, which limits your floor space inside. But this is primarily going to be like a building episode. I'll probably be just about hostile to everyone. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure how I want to play it out, but for right now, yeah, this looks like the spot down here that I'll probably do that. So let's take... This right here is actually looking really, really good. If I could... That's enough space right there. Let's see if we can find a better spot. These spots are alright. And this does limit the places we can be attacked with a treb. And so if I actually sort of just like blocked this in right here, I think that would work out fairly well. I think that's something that I wouldn't argue about. So let's take out all of our crafting benches. We'll get those situated for right now so that certain things are being worked on and certain things are getting done. Unfortunately, since like half my inventory got deleted, I mean, I guess it's a good thing because I didn't have the inventory space to carry this stuff around with me anyways. But I don't know. There wasn't a server wipe last night. It was kind of a weird thing where I logged out and the server disconnected me. I logged back in, and like half my stuff was missing, so I'm wondering if they reset something on the Reign of Kings end. But I'm missing a whole bunch of like animal product and other random, like I had food, I had a bunch of stuff already farmed out so that we wouldn't have to worry about it today, and unfortunately it appears to have all gone the way of the buffalo. And that is to say, to the northwest. Buffaloes love the northwest, it's their favorite direction, and so that tends to be the way that they meander. We got a little bit of stone right there. This does put us... Why do I hear the sound? I don't know. I thought I heard gunshots or something. I'm getting nervous. Like we're out in the medieval hood right now. I'll probably just throw a whole bunch of... I don't know. Oh, there it is. It does work. People weren't pulling my leg. Okay, that's good. No, not 91. Why would you put 91 wood in the furnace? That would take forever. We'll throw the iron in there, though, for right now so that it gets done. We have a weapon. We have that taken care of. I don't know if I have the stuff that I need in order to make iron armor. But if I do, I would recommend it. But I'm going to do it after I get my storage and my buildings all taken care of. So let me run down in here. I'm going to get some wood blocks going. So if you take a look right there, they actually cost 40 now, which is quite a bit worse. It's bad. Like it used to be, this right here, 6,000 would have gotten us about 240 blocks, which would have been more than enough to get our base started. As of right now, though, a little bit limited in what we can do with only like 150 of each block. But I wish I could rotate this slightly. I don't know why the blocks are facing so weirdly. I'm going to start out right here, and then we'll just kind of like put it in right there. And then once we get these all solidified in, we'll start thinking about the ways that we want to make this all work for us. If I could make these walls work to my benefit, I think that's going to be the best way that I can do it. Just make sort of like an artificial cave over here. If I could get up on top, that would make this all easier. So let's see if we can swing up and around. I don't know, let me know what you think. I mean, I know people are not going to want this series to go anywhere, but I've had so many problems both with the recording and with just like the orchestrating events and things that it becomes sort of an all-day, everyday trouble in order to get things going. And so we've got, let's see here, we'll go right there. And I think that should be enough. If I just walk around the edges and make like an artificial cave, that'll make me happy. I mean, I'm not displeased with the prospect at all. There it is. And so this is what I was hoping to accomplish by getting up to this level. And then so right here, I would suggest that we go around this like that right there. Yes, exactly. Hopefully this isn't going to be one of the glitchable surfaces, because sometimes there's glitchy surfaces that people can just like mash their way through by force. And so I'm not looking forward to anything like that happening right now. And then this will make it so that we only really have to make 2 walls and a ceiling in order for this whole thing to work. And it's really, really, really going to conserve supplies. And then what we can do is we can actually build upwards as we need more space. I don't know if this is going to be tall enough. What I should do is I should put in, I think I might have to go down and below on this one. There we go. Sometimes it's easier to build from below. Sometimes it's easier to build from above. And I'm thinking this is one of the cases where being the bottom is going to make my life easier. We may want to go 1 up higher on this. We may want to go 1 up higher. I think we will. Let's go 1 up higher on it, and then we'll make it work. See, we've already used up 30-something blocks right now, so that's going to be the major, major struggle of our time here, or at least our 25 minutes. Let me see if I can get back up this wall. Last time it let me go straight up it. Now it might not. Damn it, son. Alright, so let's just climb up this way then. You can still climb up straight surfaces, which is pretty cool. I mean, they make your life a lot easier. And then what I'll do is I'll pull all these blocks out here once we get them all up, and I think this should be about the height that we're looking for a first floor. And so if we actually set up a bunch of impediments, this should keep people from trebbing us. Not like long term. If they really want to get into this game, they're gonna get in, especially once kegs are put back in. Kegs are really, really nasty. I've seen other people play around with them, and I get why they took them out of the game. I think they just need to nerf the damage on them and only make them do like 500 instead of 1500. Like basically lower the amount of damage the kegs do, so that they're not quite so scary. I'll probably put in a couple over here just to be safe. There we go. I want this to be essentially seamless. And so yeah, I don't know if we're going to have enough stone blocks to get the whole thing done, but I'm going to give it a go. And then if I pull out this bottom layer right here, it's going to be a little bit close. But this is the best thing that I could think of. Now that building materials cost more, it's the most creative idea I had. So if it's not actually that creative, well, you'll have to forgive me, but it was the best I could come up with on short notice, having learned that all the materials were nerfed. And that should put us back up in a situation where we might be able to get this actually finished in the first episode. I hope so anyways. It'd be really, really good if we could. I mean, I can finish some of it off with wood while we're here, but I would prefer not to. Alright, so there it is. And we haven't moved that far out just yet. I may have claimed a little bit too much space, but I think this should be good enough. I guess we got to build 3 walls since we don't have a whole lot on this side, but that should give us enough room. We've got an overhang, so I'm pretty pleased with it right now. The thing that I would worry about is maybe people short shooting with trebuchets or something. I don't know. I don't want to give people ideas, so I'm not going to give away how I would actually deal with this situation if I was trying to take this base out. But I'm probably just going to do the same like micro cell thing that I did previously, where essentially I just put a whole bunch of doors in here with the iron grates, since the iron grates are indestructible as of right now. Not a bad plan if you're trying to protect your stuff. I mean, they're not completely indestructible, but they're very, very difficult to destroy because it requires a precision trebuchet hit to destroy one. And good luck nailing a tiny door with a trebuchet in this game. That's going to be something that I think everybody's going to struggle with for a little while. Alright, so we got that taken care of. I mean, we've got it started. Hopefully nobody comes along and tries to claim it. We got to farm out some more stone in order to make this work. Let me grab that stone from right there. I'll probably go through and let's move some of these. That's not empty. Okay, so it's got 152 blocks in it for right now. I'll probably just put in the wood for right now. And once we get the wood walls in, I'll replace them with stone in just a little bit. But for right now, I just want to get like the main structure finished off so that we don't have to worry about it for a while. If we can get ourselves a house built, I think I can be happy. And so we'll drop this in here. Is that what's going to make you happy? At the end of the day, there's the question for the philosophers. At the end of the day, is that what's going to make you happy? I hear the sound of water, so that might be good. The other thing that you can do is you can alternate between a strong material and a weak material. Since the trebuchet is an AoE anyways, doing that in and of itself, it'll destroy the central materials so that essentially you'll have like a zigzag and you can save yourself materials that way. It'll look ugly though, and so I don't know if a lot of people are going to be into having like a really, really ugly base, but that's the other thing that you could try. I don't know if we're going to have enough materials for the whole thing. Let's go one more layer on this side, and hopefully I can get the walls finished off. I do like the base. I think that we're onto something right now, and I think this is the most cost-effective way to get things done while playing the game in its modified state, but I think we should have enough right here. I don't know. I haven't done the math on like the actual geometry of the situation, but we might be able to make it work. We might be able to make it work. So let's give it a go, and we'll just kind of like see how this goes in just a second. It's the front wall that I'm a little concerned about. I don't know if we have the room for the front wall. This also gives us a nice little access point to where we might be able to get to the throne room from right here. I don't think we're going to have enough, actually. I think we're still going to be a little bit short. Luckily, like, farming out some trees isn't going to be that difficult. We can just hang out over there for a little while and make it happen. Let's go all up in here. I mean, anytime I do my Reign of King days, where I, like, sit and I record Reign of Kings, I pretty much, like, resolve with myself that I'm probably going to spend a whole bunch of time actually not recording and spending a bunch of time, like, just getting materials. I'm going to leave those holes right there because they're not structurally important for the moment. And then I'm just going to drop these in, and yeah, we're not going to have enough to get that front wall done. It's going to take quite a bit more. However, we do have our first little area finished off, so that's a plus. That's at least like something that we've accomplished right here, and it's got plenty of room. So that's the other big thing that I would be concerned about, is that it actually does supply us with all the room we need in order to get things done. I'll probably take the remainder of the blocks and just get them out of my inventory for right now. Maybe throw in some stone right there. Then we got 5 on this side. Throw that in right there. Okay, on this side we've got that. That's all ready to go. Grab you. And then we'll grab you. And I'm going to do a little bit of rearranging. I'll be right back in a second. Sorry about that, everybody. We're now under I guess we're not under attack. I noticed my health was blinking from across the room while something came up. I hate it when that happens. Like, every time I sit down to, like, work on anything for the channel, it's like everything in the universe goes wrong. We need to go find some berry bushes or something because we are quite hungry at the moment. Now, people on the server were talking about something. I don't know. I saw my name. What did they say? Let's see here. What's going on right now? It's the one that chose what he wants. Let's see here. Yeah, I'd turn the PvP off for 72 hours if, like, I had the ability to do that, but unfortunately even mod powers only go so far. Like, even if you own the server, there's only certain things you can do, like, before you go on in. Like, essentially I have myself set. What is that right there? What? You can collect stones from the side of a hill? How have I never known that? That's the most random thing ever. Like, I wish it actually worked like water, where you could just sit here and pin down the E key and it would just farm out stones for hours. That'd be amazing. I just leave it pinned down for days. That'd be the best. That would be the best. We need to find some food, otherwise our ass is dead as grass. I have some band-aids in my backpack, so you can band-aid away the fact that you're hungry, which is kind of actually cool, but let's see. I think I see berry bushes. I thought I saw a berry bush right there. I think that'll work. Our hunger definitely goes down quicker, so I think that's something we got to pay attention to. I'm going to see... Ooh, 2 berry bushes. Hell yeah. Okay, so let's grab these. The other problem that I had, though, is, like, I logged out on the server last night, and when I logged in this morning, I was dead, even though I changed the password and nobody had been on the server, and all my stuff was still, like, sitting in my crafting benches and whatnot. I don't know. Weird things are going on with the game right now. I'm not exactly sure what's occurring. I need to build a bed, like, post-haste, though, which is basically the best way of saying that you need to do it at the speed of a postal worker, which is pretty quick, all things considered. Actually, for a government agency, I'm always impressed with how well, like, the postal system actually works. If you contemplate out, like, how much of a pain in the ass it must be to orchestrate everybody's mail, the United States Postal Service does a good job. I haven't had too many problems with them, and I use them a lot. Like, I use stuff, like, from Amazon and stuff all the time, so I'm constantly, like, shipping and receiving stuff. They do a really good job, though. I don't know. Most government agencies seem to sort of be just like lollygagging, which, you know, I don't know if that was lollygagging, like where you shove a lollipop down your throat till you gag, or is there some other meaning right there? Lollygagging is a word that I never really understood. I guess I could pick up these stones along the way. Kind of interesting. You don't get very much, though. I was hoping it would be more like 10. I think 10 would be fair for these, because then it might actually be a viable option instead of trying to run around and do other stuff. I don't know. Right now it's like supplementary stone. It's not really like stone that's actually going to get you anywhere or accomplish anything. It's kind of cool, though. I never realized that that was actually a thing that you could do. I think I heard somebody mention it one time where they were like, yeah, you know that you can just pick up stones off like the side of a mountain, right? And I was like, what? And I looked around for it for a while and I couldn't find it, and I guess that's what they were talking about right there, those random little stones. Huh. The interesting things we learned 26 episodes into a series. Well, I think that for right now, I'll probably break the episode off right here because it seems like I have a considerable amount of farming to do in front of me. And so I'm going to get going on that. I think that if I can get things put together in the next episode, we should be able to pretty much take care of business right there. I've got a rule set in mind that we're probably going to use for the server. Essentially, if you're in the valley or you're in the plains down there, you're fair game. But if you're like out of it, then you're considered like a PvE player, basically. That's not gonna, don't quote me on it for right now because I haven't finalized it or thought it out or anything at all, but I'm thinking that might be the best way to go about it. So, nonetheless, my name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Reign of Kings. Don't know how much longer we're going to keep going or if we're going to swap into something else a little bit more comfortable soon, but for right now, we'll keep playing the game. I'm going to record out a couple episodes so that I can document what you guys think about it. I know obviously everybody's going to be like, no! There's going to be gnashing of teeth and whatnot, but after the recent changes to the way that farming works and everything, or the recent changes to how difficult it is to get the materials you need, I don't know. I'm feeling a lack of motivation. The push just isn't there right now. The push just isn't. Where are the sheep at? Well, I'll go find them. I'll see you guys later. Hi, do.